Hi, Bobby. I want to make sure that my investment with digital signage on the facility at Cuddle Gators actually works. I need to ask the suppliers for money to advertise on these signs, but they need to know some sort of proof that their advertising is played. Could you give me a hand with that?
Hey, Jed, I totally understand your concern, and I'd want to know if my graphics were playing back and my videos were playing back if my business relied on it. So here's a simple little video to tell you what I do to incorporate proof of play into my presentations.
Okay, let's take a look at how to put in SignMetrix proof of play into a BrightAuthor connected presentation. I have a presentation open right now. It's very simple. It's a full screen presentation that has a media list widget that allows me to play back ads from the media list. So if I go here, you'll see that I have one big zone, just full screen. That zone I've called the advertising panel because this will be inside of Cuddle Gators' main store at the entryway, and they want to do some advertising on there from their suppliers. So that's a full screen one. So if I go here, you'll notice in the media list, I've got a media list element that I say shuffle playback, which basically means that when the list reloads, there's another graphic that will play, and it's all sort of shuffled around. If I double click on the media list, you'll notice there's 3 ads coming in. Obviously, you can have as many as you want in here. This is a BrightAuthor thing. You'll notice, though, that inside of this, for the SignMetrix system to work, we need to grab every ad when it's played. So here you'll say, for instance, send a zone message using the file name as a parameter. So in your marketing department or whoever makes the ads, just make sure that they call the ad in the name of the JPEG. So for instance, here's Cletus Smiley Smokehouse, Gator Jet Boats and Tackle, Swain Hotel. All of those will be used as proof of play elements within the SignMetrix system. So name wisely. So here we go here. That's that, like that. So simple, simple, simple. We have a media list. Not a heck of a lot of complexity there. I have it here on every 9 seconds. It reloads and it plays another ad. And then that zone message is sent with the name of the ad. The next thing I want to do is I want to add some SignMetrix specific things. So I'll go to presentation settings, and you'll notice here that I have a support content tab, and inside of that tab I've got our plugin. So what you can do is go to the SignMetrix website, sign into your account, go to the downloads and download the SignMetrix plugin, which is right here. Okay, you just grab that, and then you will use the name up here. The script plugin name is SignMetrix Message. Very important you do not spell this wrong or change the case of the letters. BrightAuthor is unforgiving in this sense and it will not give you an error. It just won't work. So make sure your plugin name is correct as well as your plugin location that you've downloaded. Okay, that's number 1. Okay. Next thing you want to do is to go into variables and add a variable here called add name. And this presentation will be available on the for download on the SignMetrix website, so you can download this in full with it. In the add name is just a blank variable, nothing in it. What it's going to do is that when that zone message is sent out, the add name is going to be sent and put into this variable, and that variable then will be posted up to the SignMetrix proof of play system. Okay, so that's the variable we made, add name. Okay, that's number 2. Let's now go to other parts within the presentation. We have to have a little place where we can use our app. So I made an HTML zone, and that zone is called an HTML SignMetrix application zone. You can see here in SignMetrix application. Image only zone. Doesn't matter how big it is, it's not visible, so it's just up in the top left here. You can make it whatever size you like. If I click on this state here, you'll notice that there is the CDN, which is basically the SignMetrix app. So as it updates on the SignMetrix system, you'll always have a very up-to-date app to play. So there's no need to download HTML code or JavaScript. It'll basically just go to this URL and use it on the player. So you'll have that. Also here in the query string, you'll notice it says SM code. This is your license code from SignMetrix. So the SignMetrix license code is something that you go on in the SignMetrix system. You sign in, you go down the left tab and it says licenses, grab the number and paste it into here, okay? As part of this zone, you want to make sure you use JavaScript objects that are BrightSign JavaScript objects. And that's basically it there. That's it. So that's putting the app SignMetrix app into the system. Now the app is going to work together with the plugin, okay? The next thing you want to do is back to zones. What I want to do is every time I receive a zone message, so in the previous zone, the big zone, where the main advertising plays, every time it plays a graphic, it sends a zone message of the graphic name to the system. The system then, in this case, in this zone here, I trap the zone. I trap the zone message here, you'll notice. I take every zone message and I take that name and I put it into a variable called add name. Okay, so everything's loaded now, ready to go. So the presentation's done, ready to go. Now, one of the things I want to do as well is that when proof of play is based on, does a graphic play, how long does it play, and where does it play? All of that is within our app, okay? Now, you want to send a message, a plugin message, saying that this is the advertisement name, and you post it up with your license code and your player information, which is all kind of transparent. You won't have to add any of that. But what you do have to add is that when this zone message comes in, you want to send a plugin message that says start with an add name variable. So basically what's going to happen is going to send this message together with all the player information and your license code and everything. It's going to send it up to the SignMetrix system and put it into your reports. Okay, so that's pick start. So now a timer starts. So the ad's playing, timer starts, timer's running. When the graphic finishes playing, right here, in this case here, I have it set for 9 seconds. In 9 seconds, when it finishes playing, I want it to send an end. Okay, so I do that by going into the media list here, and I'm going to say basically when you leave the media list, so basically when it's going out to the timer, when the timer has triggered, I want it to send an end message. So here is pick end. And that stops the timer and basically gives a calculation on the server side saying this graphic played this long in this place at this location at this time. Okay, so all very, very straightforward. So you can download this presentation from the SignMetrix system, experiment with it, and then add these proof of play triggers, start and end triggers, to any assets you want to track in your proof of play in your SignMetrix system. The next little bit, I will talk about how the report looks within the SignMetrix system. Okay, I am now in the SignMetrix dashboard on the SignMetrix website. I've signed in with my username and password, and you can see here I've got the dashboard happening with interactions incrementing one at a time. That interaction is coming from that BrightAuthor presentation. That player is sending up information about the ad, how long it's played, and we're calculating how long it is played, where it is played, and when was it played. Okay, so all the information is coming up, and you can watch it increment here. I've got the last 7 days that's happening with interactions happening. That's 27,000 last 7 days, 35,000 total over the lifespan of this particular account with this particular interaction. So I'll go to the left here just to give you an update. Here's license codes that I mentioned in BrightAuthor. You have your licenses. There's your licenses. In here in your downloads, this is where you would download the plugins that we have, extensions, as well as sample projects, which is that BrightAuthor project that I showed you is a sample project that you can fool with. Okay, so those are those pieces. Now I'm going to go into my dashboard here, and I'm going to go to today, okay, because I was experimenting with my Cutter Gators system. Okay, so there we go, 3385 interaction count. So I'm going to go over to the left here, and I want to make a report for, say, for example, one of my customers, one of my suppliers, I want to give him a report of play of their particular advertisement. So I'm going to go here to reports. Okay, go to reports here. Interaction. Sorry, not clicking fast enough. So there's my report. I have 3, as you saw, I have 3 interactions here, 3 proof of play. I have Gator Jet Boats, I have Swain Hotel, and I have Cletus Smiley Smokehouse. I have those 3 customers, but I only want Cletus Smiley, and I only want it at that current location. So I only have one Cuddlegator location, but if you had multiple locations throughout the state, you can go in there and basically pick the individual store here. So in this case here, I'm going to pick this store, Cuddlegators, okay? And I want to pick the Cletus Smiley Smokehouse. So under Product, I'm going to go down to Cletus Smiley. There we are here. Okay, I could pick a couple if I like, but I only want Cletus Smiley at the moment. And the guy wants to know, hey, listen, how'd you guys do over the last 7 days? Yes, yesterday, today. He says, how's my ad doing today? So I'm going to go Today, Search. So here is all of the store Cuddlegators location with Cletus Smiley's Smokehouse and basically today. 1,089 plays of that particular ad. If I go to Show Details, it's going to give me this right here, right now. And it's showing me that on November 21st, at 12 a.m., I've got Cletus Smiley Steakhouse playing, this Smokehouse playing, in the snack bar sign, the stand, it's called snack bar. The store is Cuddlegators. The region is Cascade. You can have as many regions as you like within SignMetrix. And the duration, 17 seconds. I can go in here then and just click on the export. I can select these columns that I want to send. Say, for instance, I want to take the date that it happened, how long it happened, what stand and sign it was on, so on and so forth. You can pick whichever ones you like here. I'm going to say select all. If I click Excel, it will make an Excel file based on the criteria that I've outlined here in SignMetrix, or I can create a CSV file. Same sort of criteria. I can go in here and pick these criteria to make those files. You take that then, you bring it into Excel, and you send it off to your customer saying, this is the ad that you played on my sign, and this is when it played, this is where it played, and this is how long it played. This could be video or graphic, up to you, whatever you want to use. Super simple to generate these reports, and very straightforward for you to basically make a report very quickly and prove that a graphic played at a particular time and place. In any case, download the sample presentation, modify it with your graphics and your account information, your license code, and then experiment with it. And you'll notice you'll be able to implement this on any one of your zones within your BrightAuthor presentation. So you could have multiple ad zones sending these basically start and end messages up to the SignMetrix system. All right, have fun. And if you have any questions, drop us a line or send us an email or just give us a call. Thanks so much.